I paid $144 each for these 3 broken Xbox One X consoles, which is a great deal if I can fix them. A plain Xbox One X console with no controller is selling for $220 to $230 on eBay. Let's take a look at these and see what they say is wrong. Now this first one says it won't download games. It's in pretty good condition overall, no major scratching. The warranty sticker has definitely been removed, but other than that, it actually looks pretty good. The seller said this second Xbox One X didn't show an image on the screen. Usually that's because of a faulty HDMI port or retimer chip on the motherboard, and this one has also been taken apart before. And this third Xbox One X is in not as good a condition. It's got some pretty major scratching on the case, but no breaks or cracks or anything. This one has error 203, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. Other than that, it's in pretty decent condition other than the scratching. Now that we have an idea what might be wrong with them, let's get started with this one that won't download games. So we do have picture, we do have power. The fan definitely sounds a little weird. I have it started up, I have it connected to my internet, and it does say that it needs an update. Now the funny thing about this is if someone doesn't update their console, it can actually cause a problem where it won't download a game. So is this the only problem? Maybe. I'm gonna get it updated and we'll find out. It's now fully updated, but will it download a game? Out of all the games in the Xbox store, I'm picking Farming Simulator. Now I just have to see if it will fully install, and then I'm ready to farm. While my amazing Farming Simulator game is downloading, let's check the next Xbox. This one says it has E203 error. A lot of times that can be caused by a hard drive or hard drive cable, but let's see if that's what it's actually doing, and then we can get it taken apart. I do hear quite a bit of noise coming from the hard drive area. A lot of times that's an indication of a faulty hard drive, but let's see if it'll actually update and see if it starts up. It did actually start up so far and go to the update screen, so let's see what it does now. So far, Xbox number 2 is working normally, but I don't want to download the update on number 2 until we get this game downloaded on Xbox number 1. It's about halfway there, so I just need to finish that up and see if the game will play. And then after that, I can download the update onto Xbox number 2 and see if it fully downloads, and then if it works after that. And there we go, the game is actually fully installed on Xbox One X number 1, so this Xbox works just fine. Apparently it just needed an update. I've actually seen this problem before where an Xbox One X just won't download, and sometimes it gets to where it won't even navigate correctly in the screen, and all it needs is an update. So the lesson here is to be sure and update your Xbox One X before you sell it on eBay for cheap, because it's not working. Now I've got some Farming Simulator to play. I'll see you in the next video. I'm kidding. We've still got 2 more to go. Let's check Xbox number 2. So far, Xbox number 2 just needs an update. Let's see if it'll update or if it gets stuck on an error screen. So for Xbox number 2, whenever I try to update it, I just get there is a problem with the update with all this information here. So there does appear to be some problem with this second Xbox One X. Now, since this Xbox was sold with the E203 error, it could be a hard drive issue, but I want to get it apart first and inspect all the internals and see if there's any other obvious problems. So now it's time for my favorite part. Let's take it apart. So I have the 2 screws out of the back. Just got to get the top case off, and then we can have a look at the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas and chips. So here we have the Wi-Fi chip. The antennas are actually built into the chip and also built onto this board, I believe. So I think I'm actually gonna start by replacing this board and see if that'll fix the issue. I do still suspect it's a hard drive issue, but I do want to rule out this Wi-Fi board first, so I'm gonna replace this first and see if that fixes our issue. So here's one that I know is working. I'm gonna plug this one into the connector here, and then we'll try it out and see if that gets this thing to work. So it's back to the update screen. Let's see if it'll take an update now. So far it is actually downloading, so this is great news so far. It's possible this little guy could have been the only thing causing the problem. This right here is only a $10 to $15 part, so far this is gonna be a super cheap fix. Let's hope this is the only problem with this Xbox One X. While number 2 is updating, let's take a look at number 3. This is the one that supposedly doesn't show a picture on the screen. Let's check that first and then we'll go from there. Now with the Xbox One X, if you have no picture, it's almost always the retimer, but it also could be the hard drive. So I'm gonna slip a hard drive in here that I know is good just to rule that out before we get to motherboard repairs if it is the retimer chip. And while I was doing that, this one came up with a problem with the update again, so unfortunately it looks like maybe it wasn't this part, so now I gotta look at the hard drive on that one as well. Bummer. Now I have number 3 back together enough to test. I put a known working hard drive in it, so if it is a hard drive problem, there should be something that shows up on the screen. If nothing shows up on the screen, then we can confirm that it's most likely a retimer issue, and we'll get to those motherboard repairs. This Xbox has been on for a couple minutes with still nothing on the screen, so that can basically confirm that it's most likely the retimer on the motherboard, so I'm going to get it disassembled the rest of the way, change that, and then we'll test it all again. Here we go. Here's the real problem. Somebody has tried to fix it already. You can see all this flux around here. Let's get set up on the microscope so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see somebody tried to fix it. There's a bunch of, this is like flux, but it's not, I don't know, I've never seen this kind of flux before. I gotta get this chip cleaned up and then we can see what might have gone wrong. I think to find out anything more, we're gonna have to heat this chip up and get this flux to all melt off so we can actually look at the solder joints. A lot of times people just don't heat these up enough. It looks like maybe that's what happened right here. It looks like maybe this pin isn't connected, but I just can't tell. So I'm actually, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try and heat this chip up and just basically reflow it and make sure it's soldered to the board correctly, and then we'll try starting it up again and see if it works after that. Maybe it doesn't even need a new chip. So still not showing a picture on the screen. Most likely that retimer chip just needs to be replaced. When they were putting it on, it probably got too hot and probably burned out the chip. So I'm gonna replace that and then we'll try it again. Now that the retimer chip has been replaced, let's see if it shows up on the TV. Okay, this is actually great news. Even though it does have an error, we have a display. That's the important thing. Now from here, we can work on this error. Error E106 can be a number of things. We might just need to restart it and unplug it and see if that works. It also could need a new hard drive, or it could also just need a USB update. After resetting the console, it's still giving me this error. I'm gonna try a USB update. If that doesn't work, we'll go to a new hard drive. And here we go with the USB update. Good so far. Now while Xbox number 3 is updating, let's move back to number 2 and get the hard drive replaced in that one, so then we can do the same process with it by applying an update via a USB drive. I'll put a link down in the description for the hard drives that I use for these. The hard drives seem to work really well in game consoles, so I'll put that there if you're interested in buying one for yourself. Let's wait until number 3 is totally done updating, which it looks like it almost is, and then we'll move on to number 2. And there we go. Number 3 is fully fixed and ready to set up. So we fixed 2 out of the 3 Xbox One X's. For Xbox number 2, I'm not totally sure that it's the hard drive. I hope it is, because if it's not, it could be a pretty tough one to diagnose. Now let's see if this thing will finally get past that downloading and update screen. Oh, and back to a problem with the update. Well, a new hard drive didn't fix it. This new front board didn't fix it. Let's see what else we can figure out and see if we can fix this one. After setting up the wireless internet again, that seems to have helped. It is supposedly updating right now. We'll see if that error code comes back up. Hopefully that's all it was. It got to 99%, and now it is checking again. Hopefully it's actually updated. There we go, it's fixed. So we fixed 3 out of the 3 Xbox One X's. I expect I could probably make about $180 on this, as I'll probably make about $80 each, depending on where I sell them. If I sell them on eBay, then I'll have shipping and fees to pay. So obviously that won't make as much, but if I sell them locally, that will definitely make around $80 each. Now that's after paying for the parts. We have a hard drive and that one small retimer chip. Those parts are worth probably about 50 bucks. So other than those parts, there's really no other expense with these Xboxes. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TronicsFix, and I hope you have a good one.